Hello and welcome to the Midlife Purpose Show, where women 40 and over tap into their true calling and step into the career line with their purpose to create the fulfilling life they desire. Hi, I'm Unique Save, your host. I'm a coach specializing in working with women in midlife, help them get clarity and navigate the life transitions they face at that stage in their lives. In today's episode, I'd like to have you take time to reflect on something that we don't uh, often discuss, and it's the sense of purpose. Have you ever wondered why you were put on this earth? What are you here for? What's your purpose? This is not something that we grew up discussing. This is not something that was a topic of conversation that was routine at home or at school. When we were at school, mostly we were to study, and then once we graduated, sought either more education, post-secondary education, go to trade school, basically paved the way, paved the pathway, the course to gainful employment and create our life. That's basically what most of us experience. So, what I'd like you to do today, what I'd like to do with you today, is talk about the power of purpose. Once we have a sense of purpose, what impact does it have on us? Purpose gives us a sense, it's like having a compass to guide us in our lives. What I want to say by this, it's that it's the underlying reason that drives us and gives our actions a meaning. When we live with purpose, we have a different type of experience. We experience a profound sense of fulfillment and satisfaction. And I'm talking about in our personal life and professional life. How many of you uh, have work somewhere and wondering what was the purpose of what you're doing? What is this about? Going through the motions, but never felt like you were contributing to a greater cause, a bigger picture. I'd like to use this analogy. You know, cathedrals in the old world, how long it took to build them, centuries. So look at the difference in perspective asking a mason, the first one, what do you do? And his response would be, I'm a mason. I lay bricks. That's what I do. Versus the one who says, oh, I'm building a cathedral. You see the difference in the response? They're both doing the same thing. The difference is one only saw what he did on a day-to-day basis, not seeing the big picture, the purpose of his actions, which was to contribute to the building of the cathedral. Although the second mason who said, I'm building a cathedral, might not see the end result, but he knew because it took so long. Like I said, centuries to build a cathedral. But he knew that his contribution was that he was part of building that cathedral. You see? Sense of purpose. So I have what are the benefits to have a sense of purpose? For example, some have a sense of purpose very young, very early in their lives, and they have this drive and force that propels them to do whatever they're doing. Others, the great majority is it might take a while to find out or feel that sense of purpose. Now, once you have this, and I'm saying, what I'm saying is applies to your life in general, also professionally. The first benefits of having a sense of purpose is that it enhances your well-being. A strong sense of purpose is linked with a lower level of stress, of anxiety and depression. It can also boost our overall mental and emotional health. Go back to the analogy that I described. I'm laying bricks. I am building a cathedral. Knowing where we are headed, what our purpose is, helps us during the challenging times because we know it's just a bump in the road or it's a challenge that we have to face. But we know that our purpose is, and this is what gives us strength, gives us the drive to do what we need to do. And following with this, it increases your motivation. If you know why you're doing something, you're much more inclined in being motivated in doing whatever task you are doing versus when you don't, it doesn't motivate you as well. And when you might just go through the motions. How many of you in the workplace, we're talking about, let's say, change coming in the organization. What is the difference in reaction versus, for example, if the change is presented? Oh, we're going from this point on, we're doing this a different way, and that's it. No explanation. It's harder to have a buy-in from the employees when they don't understand the purpose of the change. They don't have to agree with it. But once we know the purpose of an action or direction, it makes a difference in how we perceive it and also a motivation versus going through the motion begrudgingly or understanding the reason why we're doing it this way. Whether we agree with it or not, at least we understand it. It makes a difference. Next point, when you have a sense of purpose, it also affects your relationship. You have a greater sense, improved relationships because it will foster a mindset to nurture relationships and see how you can contribute or the interaction between individuals is improved because there's an understanding of where you are going or where we are going. And you're more inclined in hearing what others contribute or want to contribute. It helps in improving relationships. Because what relationships is about connections. And when we have connections and we have shared values, all different values as well, it complements and improve communications. Relationships are built on connections. And when we have connections, it gives us well, we are social animals, we are not meant to be in isolation. So when we have connections with others and share the same values and you can discuss it, it helps you also to maintain your sense of purpose, seeing the bigger picture because you are sharing with others through your connections. Better decision making is the next benefit of having a purpose. Because once you have a clear understanding in a situation, we can make informed decision. The decision is based on the context, what we're facing, the objective. Once we understand what we're dealing with, we make better informed decisions. So having purpose is a driving force and is supporting you in making better decisions, better informed decisions. And in the end, it provides a greater fulfillment because you are part of the bigger picture, you understand your role, you have a purpose and understand what your contribution can affect, how it will affect and impact. Also, it will help you direct yourself in getting to that goal. The purpose and the goal. Just say, for example, let me see. If let's go back to I'll take an example that's in everyday living. Let's say you are a parent and your purpose is to raise independent, productive member of society. That's your purpose. If this is what you see. So when you have your child experience a challenge or overcoming a challenge or performing, what could I say? They're doing something that they've never done before. As a parent, you see the growth in your child, and that's what you want to see, to have them take action, to be independent, to grow, because this will be the building block for them moving forward. So your purpose is to teach your child, your children to uh, be accountable, to be responsible, to have integrity. And when you see them demonstrate, you know that your purpose is being fulfilled. Your sense of purpose is demonstrated because those are the things you want to see, and that's what you want to teach your children. We can have more than one purpose, but your purpose is what drives you. All right? So now, let's say you want to see what you can contribute to this world. What is your purpose? And I was recently giving a workshop and we were discussing that. And some of the participants were no longer in the workforce. They were retired. And we had the discussion. The first question I will ask you is, think about, what do people come to you for? Who are you the go-to for? What are you known that people come to you and seek from you? Okay. Some say that, individuals like to come to them to share a problem or ask for their opinions. That's what they're known for. Others were saying they have a good ear. They don't have to say anything. People know that they can come to this person and be heard, not have the individual solve their issues, but just they know that they will have a listening ear for them to sound off what they want to share. Another question to ask to make you feel and see where your purpose is. What is one thing that you do, an activity you do, and you lose track of time when you do it? What is it? Because that could be an indication of what your purpose is. Meaning, when I say that, is what your contribution is to the world. It could be the world in your community, in your family, or in a bigger scheme at a global level. It doesn't matter. Just think about what is the one thing or two things that you do where you are lost in it when you are doing that activity. That could be an indicator. The third one is what is it that you do that's easy for you to do that others find remarkable? It can be anything. I'll give you an example. For me, people are amazed that it's one of the things, but this is one that's easy, that's on everyday level, everyday living, is I can have, like we say, nothing in the fridge, nothing in the pantry, and I will whip up a meal. And that's what I'm good at. That's what my friends find it remarkable is that I can whip up something delicious out of nothing. I just have a knack to create something with minimal, very little, versus other people really, they need a cookbook or a recipe. I don't. Most of the times I don't use cookbooks. I just create. And what I'm really good at, I'm known for, and it's simple to me, but for others, they don't know how I do it, is to actually, like I said, create something out of nothing. So, what is this thing that comes to you easily that others find remarkable? Just think about that. And in the bigger scheme of things, what is, if there was one thing you could do and want to have an impact to the world, what is it that you can offer the world? If you only had one thing that you could offer the world, what would it be? Something to think about. It might sound simple, and it is. It doesn't have to be complicated. And the purpose could scale to a bigger picture. For example, you could start by a hobby, something that you really like to do, because the skills that you use is something that will impact others. It could be anything. So you could start small, but because it's your purpose and that is something that you're passionate about, it can grow because The motivation is there to do whatever you want and move forward following your purpose. Generally, if it's in the workplace, it gives you the incentive to maybe be more creative, to be innovative in your work, in the workplace, because you understand your contribution to the organization and how it can impact the organization, the people it serves, and maybe in a grander scale. So, on that note, I'd like you to think about that and what do you think your purpose is? We don't always know right off the bat, but we do. Everybody has a purpose. And I'd like you to find yours if you have not figured it out. And let me know. Until next time, have a great week and have a great week and think about what your purpose is and what would you do? What gift to the world do you have to share? Bye for now.